Hello everyone, I'm ImKibitz and welcome back to Satisfactory, where we're continuing work on our nuclear power plant, where we have our control room built and now our very first production system making nitric acid. One of the first of the many production lines we have to build to complete this plant. But that's okay, because we already have a lot of the grindy stuff done and have collected all of the items we need. So all we gotta do is put it together. So then what's on the chopping block today? Well, there's lots to do, but I think it would make sense to process all of the ores. We need to make the steel, copper, and caterium ingots for a variety of things. And I think we're gonna start with the iron ingots. The iron ingots are gonna be used for steel pipes because we're gonna be using an alternate recipe called iron pipe, which takes 100 iron ingots to make steel pipes. And we're also using the iron to make wire with another alternate called iron wire, which makes iron ingots into wire. And finally, we need iron plates to actually complete our nitric acid setup and get it up and running. So one product and a ton of results. And don't you worry, we're not gonna do something as simple as just spam a bunch of blueprints of smelters all over the place. I have much more grand ideas. But first, we kind of have to find all of the iron. Past Kibs did a ton of work collecting all the items, and current Kibs isn't exactly sure where all the items are at. So we should get these trains running here and see what they bring in. It's coming from like this area, so it could have anything. There's iron, there's copper, there's coal, there's a whole slew of different things. So odds are, it has to have some iron ore, right? Well, let's see. Quartz, checks out. Coal, checks out. Coal, what? Coal? Excuse me? Quartz? Is this just coal and quartz? Sam, okay, that's really important. Literally nothing. Literally nothing. And coal. Why is there literally nothing here? Past Kibs, you have literally one job. That's to assure that current Kibs' life is perfect. Why isn't it perfect? What haven't you done? Now I have to go and investigate. What is the situation? Oh, well, we're making caterium ingots here, and I didn't see caterium ingots in the chew. So, load. Oh, maybe the freight car just didn't get loaded. That actually makes a ton of sense. Okay, never mind. Train, you're fine. Past Kibs, you get a pass. Then what about this other train? What do you collect for me, friend? Actually, I am pretty sure it's just caterium now that I think about it. Oh no, and some SAM. Caterium and SAM from all over the land. Ah yes, this station. Okay, so sulfur, caterium, and SAM. And then eventually, in this last freight car here, we're gonna bring over diamonds, but that's not until much later. However, that is nothing I was looking for. We're trying to deal with the iron today. Where is my iron? Asked Kibs, where did you put it? Well, there's only one other place. We have a big stack of belts coming from over there? And is this all of the iron we need for the entire project? Just from this little corner? I think it might be. We need about 4,100 iron ore per minute to make this whole project work here. So yes, I'm gonna have to unlock and automate some Mark 6 belts. But in the meantime, it's 1,200, 2,400. Let me guess, these are all pure. 3,600. Yeah, they're all pure. It's 1,200. So yeah, literally all of the iron for the project is just right here. Nice. So we'll just get a power line over to this. That will power all of those miners. Then all of the ore will be here, and we could do whatever the heck we want with it. So then step one, bring the power from the control room. And oh my gosh, I didn't even mention this in the last video, but I got an amazing idea from somebody in my Twitch chat while I was streaming. And that was to color code some of the power lines. So everything is gonna be controlled in this control center building, right? And so I don't lose track of the certain control lines. We have them painted on beams. The green is for the uranium fuel rods. The blue is for plutonium fuel rod production. And then there's gonna be a yellow one that will be for Fixonium. And then just in general, right in the middle of the whole thing, we have our main power line that connects to the rest of the world. Then we'll have a few more in the future as well, but we're just not there yet. But hey, we'll get there eventually. But for now, power is being brought over, and all the ore is on site. And as for production around here, my idea is to have the left side of the power plant be the hyper radioactive productions, and then everything else be on the right side. So we're gonna go and grab our ore, shoot it down here, and then I guess that spot's as good as any for some iron ingot production. So we'll start there. And for all this, we're gonna be building refineries. Lots and lots and lots and lots of refineries. There is an alternate recipe for iron ingots that I honestly hardly use. That's called pure iron ingot. Combines iron ore with water, and you get a ton of iron ingots. It's very good. Just most of the time, iron isn't that valuable, and the system is kind of a headache to set up, so I don't really use the recipe. But in this scenario, well, because the deal is we need 7,600 iron ingots per minute, and I didn't want to do as many logistics. And we have blueprints for just such an occasion. So all we really have to do is spam up this blueprint a couple dozen times. I need about 60 refineries to make this system work when they're all fully overclocked, and then we're good to go. At least that's what past Kibs would have said. But I've been inspired, and we're gonna be playing the game quite a bit differently from now on. I was inspired by this. This is Tom's World from the Satisfactory Reddit. And trust me, it deserved a full comprehensive video because this world is incredible, and I'm drawing a lot of inspiration from it. And I did something very similar to this as well, where you cover the terrain and follow the patterns in it, then you build your machines along the terrain to get like the crazy height variations. Except there is a very key difference between Tom's World and what I worked on. Well, for one thing, I more so went for scale, because numbers going up, always good. But besides the scale and ignoring the roads, there is a very, very important detail that I did not notice until very recently. And that is, building all of the machines in similar groups is kind of boring. And like in my head, it makes a lot of sense. Like I'm making wire, so I make all of the wire in the one place, then it's organized, and then I bring it over to like the reinforced iron plate area. I do all of that production all in one place as well, and continue that kind of mentality all over the world. But then you end up with these pockets of similar machines everywhere, and I don't know. Like it's cool en masse, but I just really fell in love with how Tom's World looked and having all the machines mixed together. All right, so let's give it a shot. I was just spacing things out to make sure we could actually fit all the refineries in. Now let's see if we can make something a little bit more interesting. And yes, we are gonna be making a blueprint because there ain't no way that I'm gonna be as detailed as Tom. That would, I only have like maybe a good 50 years left to live, okay? And it would take me forever to finish this nuclear plant with that much detail. So we're definitely gonna lean into blueprints a bit more. So what do we really wanna do? We are absolutely going to be using this iron, pure iron ingot recipe, 100%. And we're overclocking these. There ain't no way I'm building all of the ones that I need. For context, again, we need, it's actually 115 refineries. If we didn't overclock them, fully overclocked though, we only need about 50. Because we're trying to get around 7,600 iron ingots per minute. Now, how do we mix this with other designs? Well, one of the things we're doing with the iron is we're making those steel pipes, right? Or iron pipes. So maybe we can combine these two blueprints together. Like most of the iron should be going towards the iron pipes. So maybe we could just have this next door. Oop, bap. Put this in and match the input with the output of this. The output of this could be 100 ingots. Okay. Oh, that's not an, okay. Has to take 2 power shards, no biggie, but it's possible. Then one goes into the other, Dunskies. Or overclocking, 250 per minute, sheesh, okay. Can one of these machines get to 250 per minute? No, it's 162. So then we could get 2 of these. And that's like 320 or something. But then that means we could have 2 of these. It's getting a little complicated here. What if we made 3 refineries. Then we can do anything. We are all powerful. That's 162 times 3, big number. Almost 500 iron ingots per minute. Okay. That means we could run 5 iron pipe constructors, or 2.5 if they're fully overclocked. And looking at this blueprint, there ain't no way we're fitting these constructors on the floor of it. Like, we have to do the pipe and the belt work still back there. No, we gotta go up. It's the only option. Dream world, we don't have to go that much higher up. The more compact we make this, the less tall the system has to be. And it looks like we have some decent clearance at this point. All right, put that down there. Let's put a splitter up here. Now we have all the room in the world for all the constructors we want. So let's really lock in these numbers. So we definitely want to overclock at least one of these. That's 250 per minute. This is 162. Again, 162 times 3, 487. We'd combine all of these together into one merger. Merger would go up into the splitter. And wait, no. If this is 487.5 and this is 250 per minute, then it's just 2 constructors making steel pipes. Huh. So one of them will be fully overclocked and the other will be to 237.5. 237.5. Boom. Kind of nice numbers. And you know, kind of simple design. Saves me a heck of a lot of belt work bringing all of the iron ingots to wherever these steel pipes are gonna be made. Now we just have to make it look pretty. Or better yet, at least not bad. So we have a stackable design here. I actually used my old pure ingot blueprint, and then I added in the constructors on top here. And I tried to make it stackable. We're gonna have a lot of these systems, so all these walkways have to connect over to the next blueprint right next door to it. But this, you know, it doesn't look too bad, I think. And en masse, pretty good. Pretty good. I'll have to design a building around the machines, but look at all the detail up here. And also, yeah, I can't believe how convenient this is. Like, all of the iron just goes to the steel pipe, so we have 2 systems done at once. I feel very clever. Well, then without further ado, let's bring that design back over this way and see how it will look. And all in, not bad at all. It's gonna be a design challenge to make it look good. Well, that's okay. This is my first time kind of building in this new way, so it'll be a good learning experience. Now, some of these refineries, you probably noticed, are not in that other blueprint. They're just refineries without the constructors, and that's because we actually need more iron ingots for iron wire later on. But the little footprint in this corner ain't that big, and we need like 100, actually, I'm sorry, no, we need 150 iron wire constructors. So yeah, I don't think we're fitting that in this corner unless we made it like a skyscraper. And I kind of like the aesthetic we have going here, where like the factory is surrounded by the cliffs. And we'll have the skyscrapers a little bit more centralized, probably. Back to this though, yeah, the design is gonna be a bit of a challenge here. And when I don't know what to do, usually I just give it like a blank coat of paint, i.e. I box it in, and then I kind of try and work from there. Like, there's so many variables around here that I don't want to try and do something super fancy. We'll see what kind of shape we end up with first, and then we'll add in the details. One thing I do want to do though, is I actually want to make this 2 buildings. We have this giant pipe stack that needs to run through here. And at first I was thinking, hey, maybe we could actually run that on top of all the refineries. But we have all these smokestacks, and it'd be kind of neat if we incorporated them and could see them in the full design. So instead, we're gonna bring the water pipes down through here, off to the right, go through this little gap, and then kind of loop around this whole section of the factory to wherever they'll go later. And after doing some basic fiddling around, oh yeah, that was the right call, bud. We have just the little bits of the refinery smokestack sticking through this roof, and I added in just like a beam and stuff. And that looks great. In fact, it's almost kind of like a theme. Or like even with our blender setup over this way, we have like a little roofed in area just over there with not a lot of detail. But it's kind of nice. It gives you a little bit of breathing room with all the crazy designs all over the place. And I try to clip in these other refineries as well, where we can't see the bottom of them, but we can see the top. So we have the smokestacks out here. We have these little vents in the ceiling. and I added on a few extra refineries just to make the numbers work out a little bit better. This building, bro, I have no idea what we're doing with this building. It's okay. We'll leave the roof probably into the elements, just so we can see this cool top design. And then that might actually be it. I have a feeling once we bring over all of the belts and start running the pipes through here, just all that busyness will add enough detail to make this whole thing look cool. Oh my gosh, yeah, belt highway. It's been a minute since I've had to put one of them together, but ooh, if it was not worth it. Yeah, this is looking way better. With the pipes in and a little bit of depth added, I think if we just add in the last little walls and a few walking paths, this will look incredible. Or at least I think it's fair to say it doesn't look bad. I think it's pretty dang good. And for a new build style that I am not really used to, I'm very happy with this. This is really, really neat. For future projects, I'm definitely gonna have to figure out how to build a lot taller because we have a lot more machines to create. This is a really good first attempt. Also, brought over all of the power. The whole system works just fine, no problem. All the belts are balanced and all that fun jazz. And I did some light interior work, mostly to make sure all of the walkways were walkable. And also just dealing with the smokestacks, so when they're cutting through the ceiling, it doesn't look too bad. And then for the refinery, we built on like the first floor and they're like fully encased in the building. I added in this kind of vent aesthetic. So instead of the smoke just dispersing into the building, it kind of looks like it's being vented out. It's a neat little aesthetic, doesn't add too much. But the big thing is the aesthetics are complete, which means that is 2 more things off the to-do list. Boop, bap, meaning the project is complete. And I'm gonna end things here for now. And if you enjoyed, remember to subscribe for more. And until next time, I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day, and bye-bye.